Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's #1 mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
Hello.
Once again, much delayed. You know us. We're consistently inconsistent, but still here, still here. If you had to guess, Mom, how many episodes do you think we've done of this show?
Ooh. Is this our third season?
No, this is 4.5, I think, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay, then I'm pretty far off.
Right? Because
I
we started the first finals year, halfway through. So it was Ime's last year. Lose to maybe this is 3.5.
would say 3.5. Yeah.
Lose to the
Yep.
Heat.
Yep.
You win last year, right?
Mm-hmm. And then this year. So I think you're right. I think it's 3.5.
And then this year. So you're 3.5. So yep.
My guess is
What? 50?
I don't know. Yeah.
You are halfway there. This is our
100?
100th episode of Shamrock Talk.
100. Our 100th
Yes.
episode.
I was hoping to do a better 100th episode. I was kind of hoping the Celtics might still be there. Where it is a perilous 100th special.
Yeah.
In the predicament that the team is currently in. But let's start backwards though. NBA Finals. We know the matchup now. Yesterday was the Pacers closing out the Knicks, and we're gonna have Pacers, Thunder, the finals everyone was waiting for. But what'd you think of the conference finals? The first conference finals in a long time to not feature the Celtics.
I thought it was super fun. I think
Agreed.
the Pacers are a very fun team to watch. And as a petty, angry Celtics fan, it was lovely seeing the smiles wiped right off those Knicks faces.
I would agree.
That, it was just kind of the perfect, if it wasn't going to be the Celtics, it was kind of the perfect Pacers win for us.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a fun team to watch, really a fun team to watch. Just the way they move the ball and their attitude. And I like them. I like them a lot.
I agree. I mean, I was definitely rooting for them. I think most Celtics fans were, but yeah, just sneaky. I mean, the second straight conference finals, now a finals appearance for the Pacers. I don't think anybody, especially myself, did not even expect them to get as far as they did last year, and now to exceed that, they peaked at the right time. That's what a lot of this is about too, because they slumped throughout the year and they were up and down, and
and they look healthy.
That's part of it for sure. Yeah.
The way that they play, they just look really healthy. Whereas honestly, the Knicks last night looked like us in the final game against them.
Yeah. Just
tired, beaten down, and just that's exactly what we look like. I think in that final game. I mean, we were whooped a little bit more than the Knicks were, but they looked worn down, similar to what we did. But it was a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, fun series, I think. Yeah, glad to see the Knicks out. Always fun.
Yes.
And
they
on
are.
The other
the more
side,
you watch them, the more you watch the Knicks, I have to say, the arm wrapping, like the arm wrapping, is the most evident in not the quickest players. Like Karl-Anthony Towns is not fast. When he goes to the hoop, he's somewhat of a slow player.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny how much he does get away with that. I mean, they called it a little bit more because I think players were complaining about it. And you can so see it almost every single time you watch a replay. And I do think last night they caught him a couple times. But it's amazing how slow the move is, and he gets the arm and he holds just very interesting.
Yeah.
And Brunson does it. Brunson does it as well.
Just foul baiting all over the place. It's not fun to watch. It's not. Their offense was just so brutal at times, compared to the Pacers, where they're just always moving and.
Yes. And now I wonder, is that a Thibodeau thing? Is it shirt grabbing, arm wrapping? Is that
I would say
do it until you get caught?
he's a defensive guy, so you'd think it's more that kind of comes with the grittiness and just fight till the end attitude, especially when you're just not as skilled offensively as some of these other teams, which I think was pretty evident in that series.
It's just funny, and I'm not saying that at times the Celtics don't grab shirts and at times we don't, but it's a kind of consistent, the same sort of, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. And the more you watch them, the more games in this series, you just could see it much more. I think I was looking at other things at times with the Celtics, whereas you could kind of see it in this series a little bit more than you did in ours. I don't know. But anyway, fun win. Pacers are a fun team.
Yep, I would agree. And on the other side, I mean, Oklahoma City might just buzzsaw through them anyway because, oh man.
I know. I was looking at that. They're good.
They're just real, real good. And
yeah.
It's going to be a problem.
Nembhard did a fabulous job. I think they really had it down by the end. He did a fabulous job on Brunson last
night. Agreed.
An amazing.
Harassing him the whole time.
But not fouling him.
Yeah.
He
didn't fall for any of the tricks, stayed down.
Shots.
Yeah.
Brunson made some shots, but just wore him down without buying into that 3-point play, right? Yeah. You're not letting him make that and get the foul. And I think he really did a good job denying him, staying in front of him, and making him work hard. And by the end, he was exhausted. So it's going to be interesting, though, because SGA is so much taller than Nembhard that's going to be an issue, right? He's not going to be able to do the same thing because he's just going to go in and shoot over him. So it's going to be interesting what they decide to do defensively against SGA. And I don't think Halliburton can do it. I don't think he can take on a defensive assignment and be the lead in the offense. It just
no. He's not much of a defender anyway. You'd put more of like a Neesmith on him more than that, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, I'm rooting for Indiana, so I would love to see them put up a fight. But if I was a betting man, I would not.
I'm with you.
I wouldn't bet against the Thunder because they've been the best team all year.
Even the bigs. Hartenstein. They just Chet.
Thomas Bryant now. I mean, he's
he was good for them. He
reinvented himself. I didn't know he shot threes. What's going on?
Yeah, and he only played like what?
Yeah,
he didn't play very long.
And that's 2 straight Western Conference Finals exits for the Timberwolves as well.
They got some. That's a team where I look at the coach too, because I don't think they're using what they have correctly. It just seems to me that I don't know, because they have a lot of talent on that team. I mean, maybe not depth as much but they are a talented team. It's like how they just didn't look good. There were games when they just didn't look good. And it wasn't just OKC rolling over them. It was offensively, they were a little lost. A lot of ISO. Julius Randle, I mean, I know he averages, he still had a pretty good average, but I don't know, like he's just non-existent at times. Like it's a very strange.
Yeah, if he doesn't have the ball, he's just not much of like a player out there.
I agree.
And that's the problem with a lot of their team is, it's like you said, it's ISO, it's me too kind of, or my turn basketball. And they're gonna have some trouble keeping their players. They have a couple free agents, Naz Reid included. So it'll be interesting.
And
to
the
see
way
what
they use
do.
him, I just simply don't think they use him well. Like,
I
don't know. Like he's just not either playing with the right people, or there's just something messed up about that, because he's too talented of a player to play the way that he did. And I don't know. Just a very interesting team right now. And then, they struggled through the year at the beginning. So it's not new that offensively or whatever they were struggling. OKC is tough. I mean, they're a good team. But anyway, yes, they've got some work to do.
And the big Karl Anthony Towns, Julius Randle trade at the beginning of this year, and both those teams ended up right in the same place. Same conference finals exits. So 1-1, I guess there.
Yeah. And I think Karl Anthony Towns, I think he showed a little grittiness. I just think that he was too predictable once again, right? I always talk about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The other team knew exactly what he was doing. How many times did Nembhard come around him and steal the ball from him, right? They double team him. you get the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's too predictable and too slow. He just isn't. He's not moving
Agreed.
quickly.
And it's a defensive problem too, because what did that Pacers team do every time? Is get out in transition and he's behind the play and then they score quickly. Like they did it so many times.
Yes. He can't
He's
get
on
up
the
and down the court
ground.
fast enough.
Yeah.
He can't get up now. You watch him run. He can't run.
Agreed.
And I know his knee was hurting him or whatever, but there are times when offensively he looked just fine. Like, you know, his knee didn't seem to be bothering him, but he cannot get up and down the court against a fast team very quick.
Yeah, and the Pacers are fast. They go up and down.
Yeah. So a little bit of worry about Miles Turner versus Hartenstein. I just don't think Miles Turner is very gritty. You know, like I think offensively he's very good, but I just don't think that's gonna be tough for him. He's gonna have to be a lot grittier than he plays.
Yeah. Well, and then who guards Chet?
That's what I mean. Yeah. It's gonna be.
You might as well
Bryant,
put Turner on Chet, and then
he might do a better
Bryant
job on
Chet.
Yeah. You do need a grittier player for Hartenstein, I think.
Yeah.
I just don't think Miles Turner.
They're
just gonna have to shoot well.
Yeah.
To win this,
and it still might not matter. They still might lose.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
They're quite good.
They're coming in. Yeah. I think they're just pleased they won the Eastern Conference Finals at this point. And then they'll, nobody would have predicted that. So there we go.
All right. Well, let's shift it over to the team we cover, the Celtics. Everything changed in a flash in that last game. You have, your season slipping away, and then Tatum tears his Achilles. And now next year is really a complete mystery. Who's going to be on the team? Who's going to be gone? What are we going to look like without Tatum? And who's going to be in the rotation? Because that's a lot of minutes to fill. He's played, and again, I know he's been an Iron Man, but he's played way more minutes than anyone in the NBA since he's been in the league. I mean, it's not even close. So it's like, that's a lot of minutes to fill. That's a ton of volume and minutes to fill, and people are gonna either step up or not. And who even knows who will be there to step up? It's so it is really a critical period here, and we'll have lots to talk about. We'll be here all summer because
it's gonna be crazy.
What's going on behind the scenes?
Well, don't you think it's gonna be crazy for a lot of teams? I think this summer is going to be huge as far as
Brian Windhorst on ESPN has been hinting, don't rule out the Celtics for Giannis.
Oh, I can't do that. I can't. And I like Giannis, but I cannot. Do we need more ISO players? Look at the teams. And look at the teams that are out. We're out, right?
Yeah.
So all the good teams, the Sixers, Embiid, the Bucks, Giannis, anybody who had a big man who ISO played, and even Celtics with our ISO players. Look at the two teams that are meeting up in the finals right now. And you can say they have superstars, but those superstars average, and they're in the top 10. Halliburton's number 1 for assists per game. Number 1 for assists per game. 9.8 that guy averages. So, I do think that the NBA, people are shifting away from relying on one superstar to carry their team. Right?
I couldn't agree with you. I mean, look at the
and not that
past winners. Look at the NBA champions. Celtics last year, definitely didn't rely on one star. Jokic, you could say that the Nuggets did in Jokic, but he's a guy that distributes the ball like Halliburton does. So, I mean, your point's the same.
Because
Golden State, they have Steph, but they're, Steph's moving without the ball, and they're passing the ball all the time. So that style of basketball is, and it gets so crazy to me when people talk about like the 3-pointers and how it's too much volume, and it's like, well, it's kind of what wins you games a lot now, especially if you can get open ones and move guys around, and it's just how it is.
Yeah. And I do think that is still what put the Pacers ahead. Even in yesterday's game, they had some people coming in, and Siakam hit a couple threes, right away. Bryant hit a couple threes.
I don't know what got into him. He's unbelievable.
So I do think that their percentage for threes pushed them even further over the edge as far as this series went. But yeah, and I respect Giannis. I think he's a fabulous player, and I think he has a lot of years still left in him. I'm not negating that, but I think that getting a big superstar that plays ISO may not be the answer for our team. Plus his salary. I mean, how are we losing salary if we get Giannis?
You'd have to unload like
offload
a big
everybody?
package, basically.
Everybody.
Yeah. If you could get Giannis and keep Derek White and keep like a Pritchard and then wait 1 year for Tatum, I mean, that's an interesting team for sure. That's That's a tough team to beat with size and defense, and you fill the gaps
also,
around
does
him.
Giannis want to come in and wait 1 more year? You know, like, is he gonna want to come to a team that he's gonna have to wait? You know, I don't know.
Agreed.
So it's gonna be interesting. Do I have to watch another year of ISO? Please don't make me watch another year of ISO.
We'll see. I have no idea what anything's going to look like next year.
After watching the Pacers and watching Halliburton, because, man, you know, you can give him a hard time. And even the announcers last night, because in the first half, he wasn't scoring a lot and he's disappeared. He's on the bench or whatever. That guy makes the right play just about every time. Yeah. His passes, his hang time, his court IQ is so fun to watch at times. It really is.
I agree.
Like,
I agree with you.
He is not your typical superstar. He is not your typical ISO.
But that's what wins now. I don't know. It's
and he does. He has the greatest floater when he's open. But his decision making at times and just how he is with the team is just really fun. Really, really fun to watch. And that is kind of what I hoped for our team. I mean, we have Drew. We had all our point guards, D White, and look at their assists per game, like their averages through the season. Now with Tatum being the highest, which Tatum's not an elite passer. He's a good passer, but he's not an elite passer.
Much improved. Much improved.
Yes,
I think this was his best passing year that he's had. I mean, he's he's definitely gotten better at it. But no, I would never say he's a naturally gifted passer.
No, that's just not correct. Who he is.
Yeah.
So my hope would be that one thing we would add is kind of figure that out. Who is going to be that distributor? Who is going to help us out, you know, as opposed and move away from a little bit of the ISO. And
I think they'll have to. I mean, in that way, I think it'll be fun. It's like people are going to have to step up and we're going to have to figure it out. And I think that'll definitely bring some intrigue to next year. As we get into it.
I feel so bad for Jason Tatum. Poor kid. I mean, he could barely not, you know, I think he had to be forced to sit out games as it was.
Yeah, he did.
The discomfort of sitting on the bench and being out of a game for him. And imagine now recovering and wondering after this injury. I mean, he's the poor guy.
Yeah.
So I feel my heart goes out to him. You know, that's just so sad. He's the one guy who, you know, been healthy all this time, very few injuries, if any. And so it's going to be a rough year for him watching from afar. Not easy.
It's fascinating. I mean, it changes, you know,
everything. Yeah.
So much of what, because you can't even run it back with the guys you have, even if you wanted to heat the money, because he's not there. So what are you, holding on to people for? And so it totally shifts.
Because the first Knicks game we played without him, when we won, right? It was almost more painful because of that win when they lost the next game.
For sure.
So it was like there was this sort of, well, wait a second.
Glimmer of hope, it's something there.
Talented people.
Yeah.
We might be able to take these talented people and move them along and really have a good team. And then I think that next blowout with that same group of people, really even more than the, just kind of icing on the cake of now we're going to have to shake things up, right? Because you can't do it with just them. Look at this. Like, So I think if that game had gone differently and they had, pulled it off again, it would be a whole different outlook. But I think Drew and Porzingis are going to have to go if
that seems to
find
be
the right.
But again, I always what I come down to is like, who's taking them? I don't like. We're not getting much back. What? They know you're trying to offload them. And they're older guys. Porzingis can't stay healthy. I mean, the only place Drew makes sense is like a team that, could contend with him right now. And how much can they give up to still be a
Yeah.
contender? So you're not
Mm-hmm.
getting a lot for those guys, I don't think.
Yeah.
Um,
And Portset, yeah, I feel bad. I think they are good when they're good, but Drew's getting older, doesn't move, and he defensively that was his strength for us, was defensively, and I just don't think he's where he was when we first got him. Yeah,
no, but
getting
he's still
older.
a great player. I mean,
Yes, yes, and I
I'd
think
keep
that
all these guys in a heartbeat, but
if he
if
had
that's not the reality.
offensively been a little bit better in the playoffs, I think that would be somewhat of a no-brainer. But I still think he struggled offensively. I think he's just lost a step, or he has an injury. Either
Yeah.
way. But I think he's lost a step from when we first got him.
But then again, what do? I mean, you have to either find a place for him, or if his value's that low and you value him that low, then other people do too. And again, Porzingis is just such a question mark at this point in terms of whether he's available ever. That I don't know what his value is either.
Disease? What is this
mystery
disease?
We still don't know his mystery disease. It's so bizarre.
Yeah. So
I can't imagine other teams in the league are taking that very well.
Yeah. No, agreed. It's going to be an interesting, So do you sit down and have that conversation with Brad Stevens and the new owners? And do you talk about, do you want to be competitive this year? Is that what we're going for? Or are we going for drop his salary and be, yeah. And I think that's hard. I think it's hard from going to contenders to, we're just going to
who knows,
wing it this year. Who wants
the East isn't great.
Nobody wants to watch a year of
the East is not great, and especially if Giannis goes to a Western Conference team, I mean that eliminates the Bucks.
Yeah.
So we could roll out a decent team and still be like a 5 seed. I wouldn't be shocked by that. I mean, a lot of these guys are still pretty good players.
Yeah.
But
I think the Sixers stay. I think the Sixers stay the same.
They have to. They have no choice.
Yeah. Well, salary-wise, and I mean, if you can get everybody healthy, they have a pretty good team. Like, I don't know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, McCain will come back. Tyrese Maxey, they could be good, but
I think they could have a team. I just think you have to get everybody healthy, and you have to be. But again, everyone's a year older. You never know.
You just never know.
Yeah. So so what's your prediction?
I have no idea. I like this roster could look so many different ways. I think for me, keys are Derek White is my number one keep at this point. He's not on a huge deal. He is going to be a 20-point a game guy next year. I mean, he's going to be shooting a lot. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
And Pritchard, you probably keep too, again, just because of the salary. It's such a good deal if that's, because all of this is just about salary dump. So you keep those two guys.
Player. Yeah. Two-way player.
And everyone else, I think, is kind of on the table. I don't know. I mean, Jaylen Brown, obviously, you'd need something big in return. It would have to be a Giannis-like package. But I don't know how many of those are out there. And if you want to do that, like you said, who knows?
Yeah.
But
I think if I were going to trade Jaylen Brown, I'd much rather have 3 mid-level, right, gritty defenders.
Not if you don't have any
take one.
guys,
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd take a Giannis over. I don't know.
But yeah, if they're not,
and
we'd have to
lose other people. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get Giannis for straight up Jaylen. Who does that? You think the Bucks would straight up trade?
No. But could you
it would have to be
trick
a
him into taking like Drew and Porzingis with you and just kick him out the door? Like, take these guys too.
And it is so sad because I love those guys. I love both of them. I love the whole team. Best attitudes,
I'm not ruling out that they just run it back. I mean, because they're not going to like what the trade offers they get, I think. And then, can you just tell the owners, hey, we got to suck it up this year? Like, unless you really want to give them away for nothing.
Yeah. Well, unless you
maybe they do.
Unless you just go, I mean, look at the Rockets. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just have a bunch of mid-level gritty players, right? And they did well. So
Well, yeah, but they didn't
Yeah.
in the playoffs. Like
Well, no, but I'm saying
they
if you're
ultimately
if you're
lost.
not if you're not going to be
Gonna
contenders,
try to
which
be a contender.
probably we
Yeah.
aren't being contenders, then that's what you go for, right? Because you want a
Yeah.
group of really good guys around Jason Tatum when he comes back. You want,
But
what are you
who, yeah,
looking
but
for?
what does that look like is the
I
question.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because let's just imagine a world now where Drew and Porzingis are off the team, but you have everybody you have now.
Yeah,
Um, like who's playing next year? Is
but
Al
again,
back? That's another good question.
a few years ago, who would have predicted SGA would be the player he is now? You
Oh,
wouldn't have,
agree. I'm
right?
not saying,
So I
but
mean,
who are those guys for us now
if
that could be
Brad
that?
Stevens is as good as he, without getting a number one pick or a top 10 pick, who are you going to go out there? I mean, look at Peyton Pritchard. Look at his salary and
I
look how
agree,
much he has
but
given us.
who are
So,
those guys for us now? Is it a Shireman? Is Jordan
oh,
Walsh the
no, no.
guy?
I don't think we have many of them right now.
But that's what
I,
this is my
I,
point. I'm
I
like we do
honestly,
not have.
I think there needs to be a little bit of we have to go out there, do a little research, and figure out
And
who you can turn into
take
some of those
yeah,
mid-level, really good defenders. Because I don't think we have that many gritty, really good, quick,
yeah,
young defenders. We don't. I mean, you look at some of these other guys that move as quick as they do. I, I don't know. Like I think we need a little more,
yeah,
even so it used to be for me, I would look at Josh Hart. And I think even now Josh Hart moves a little slower than he used to, right? He's
yeah,
not quite as quick as he was, but he is gritty,
yeah.
hardworking, rebounding. Like
hmm
that is his
The
role.
problem is it's a very tough sell to be like, hey, we really like this really gritty defender that you have. What if we give you the old gritty defender that we have?